And welcome to another episode of Spoiler Kings. It's
What is spinoff?
me, Brian the Grizzly, are here with Brandman Brandon. How you doing, bruh?
Pretty good. How about you?
You know what? It's been a very busy weekend, but I cannot complain. Uh, it's been interesting. We got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm excited.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Definitely excited. A ton of stuff going on.
Uh,
Um,
did you see House of the
very.
Dragon? Did you see
Oh man,
that
yeah.
episode?
Actually, started in on it this morning. Got through about half of it. Came home, and then just restarted it from the beginning over dinner.
I watched it last night. So I got home from the Bears game, and
Mhm.
I was like, all right, I'm feeling all right. So let's go do something else. So I ended up watching it last night, and man, all right. Before we get into it, I want to
No
let
problem.
you,
By the way,
Jimmy.
next time you go to a Bears game, man, let me know because I live like I'm
Uh oh,
neighboring pretty much next to Soldier Field.
so I was there all. I mean, it was a long. We pre-gamed. We had tailgate was crazy. It was fun. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun.
So
So next time I will
next time, man, let me know.
definitely will. I'm probably
Yeah.
3 weeks. Probably 3 weeks we'll be able to do it. But I'll let you know.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Should be able to do
Jimmy says to start off, I'll say these black characters need better wigs.
that. You said it. How you doing, Jimmy? By the way,
Oh man, that
I can
is
get with that.
so right. It's like who found that mop? And you just braided it, huh? You just braided a mop into his hair. He
I
said
was
these
thinking
wigs are straight out of the French Revolution or something.
it.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But yeah. So I guess let's go ahead and jump right into this start of this review. So here we
All
go.
right. Okay.
All right. Now we're here with the Spoiler Kings. We're going to do this review of House of the Dragon episode 6. That was like, wasn't it like a pilot again? Wasn't it like watching the first episode all over again?
I think that's a great way of looking at it. I now that you mention it, I kind of had something subconsciously in the back of my mind, like this almost feels like an introductory.
Yep.
I definitely, yeah, I can definitely get with that. It almost felt like a pilot, or yeah, the initial episode, almost.
It's exactly what it was weird because you had to reintroduce characters. My wife was like, "So wait a minute, what is that? What's going on?" It's like I don't
Yeah.
know any of these people. I was like, "You do. You just don't realize that you do." It's funny.
Yep, I felt the exact same way. That's an excellent way of describing what was going on in this episode. Yeah,
So first thing I'm gonna ask you, what are things you liked about this episode?
I really liked the way it started. I liked the stuff they did with the dragons. I liked the sparring scene was pretty cool. That was intense.
Oh my goodness, that was really intense.
That was really good. The ending, holy crap! Did not expect that. Um, I like that it kind of focused on like kind of characters we haven't seen too much of as much as say like Damon or like the others. So like it was cool to see that
Mm-hmm.
be the primary focus. It really the show and hell even with Game of Thrones it's always done very very good with the ensemble element and focusing on like individual characters and having everyone have very much their own arc. So
That's
that
exactly
was really
right.
cool. That was really cool to see this time. It exposed you to more secondary characters in depth, and yeah, I really appreciated that. I think that was probably my favorite thing about this episode.
Did you, you know, I'm not gonna ask you the question. I'm gonna just say from me my how I felt.
Go for it.
I felt like we were given a lot more characters, like their values and of the characters we've known. Like
Yeah.
Rhaenyra is different. You see how she has changed and who she is.
Mhm.
Um, I don't like her that much. It's just, as much as
I
I
get
liked her
that.
before, I don't like her anymore. Lenore, totally different, very similar to who he was, but just very aloof. It was weird even seeing them. The
Yeah.
serious, the fact that he's still alive is like, what the hell? How
Yeah.
King, like you passed out at their wedding 10 years later, he's
Mhm.
still around? Like, do they know they have the fountain in use or something like that? I mean, he looks terrible.
Right.
He looks like the Tales of the Crypt Keeper, but that's not the point. He's still alive. You know, like literally, he was like walking around like a bones, like, hey. I'm like, what? How are you still alive? It doesn't make sense.
You know,
Uh,
the scene where where he staggered in, hammered, wasted was pretty amusing to me.
but then once again, Damon. So Damon's been away for 10 years.
Mhm.
That was interesting, and seeing how his character and what he's done and how he's changed. And
Yeah.
then you see Lady Lena. I mean, you see her, and they've been out just chilling for 10 years without a home, just traveling, like the Partridge Family,
Yeah.
just straight up. And I, all that was really interesting because we had to get an introduction to all those characters all over again,
Mhm.
and all their characters have changed a little bit. I mean, even Allison, wow, she definitely has changed. She was
Yeah.
like, as soon as Rhaenyra is done giving birth, she's like, hey, bring the baby to me.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was
She
crazy.
that commanding presence of hers on this episode was really great to watch. She was just not here for the BS.
Yeah, but then she got herself in some trouble now. Now she's
True.
like, I don't know. She allowed, I mean, I can't believe that they got that fire. I can't believe that fire. Like, really? But we'll get to that. All right,
Yeah.
tell me some things that you didn't like.
Um, I think that as much as I liked certain elements, like with like the dragon, like I mentioned, the sparring scene, some of the stuff kind of culminating at the end, it almost felt like there was almost too much going on, and some of that stuff could have been further explored in separate episodes.
I agree. I
I
like that.
think that it even though we're so used to things, so many things happening at once on House of the Dragon, on Game of Thrones, um, it was one of the more convoluted kind of not almost one of the more jam packed episodes. Not convoluted, but a little packed, like overly busy, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Okay. See what
Um,
James says. I don't know how I feel about Ray Ray. She kind of gives me a Cersei feel. I can hear you. I hear you. The things I didn't like. Um, I think part of it was, yeah. Did those dragons look almost too fake to you guys?
I think I might have said this after watching the first episode that some of the CG was a little dodgy to me. Like it gave me Dragonheart vibes. I remember saying that.
Yeah.
Um, to answer that question, Jimmy, I'd say it's kind of hit or miss. Some of it looks very good to me. Others, it's a little it's a little off sometimes. But I didn't stop to think about that too much this episode. I think I may have just kind of tuned it out. I might have to rewatch it and give the dragons another look. But the CG for the dragons has been kind of hit or miss.
One
Most
thing
of
I
the
want
times, worth it.
before I get to more things I didn't like, I want to say one thing I really did like was how they used the same story that Viserys had,
Mm-hmm.
and with his wife, and put Damon in the same exact situation.
Mm-hmm.
And Damon stood by his wife. He was like, no, you cannot cut the baby out of her. I want
Mm-hmm.
her. I need her. But she's a badass. And
Yeah.
you can't control it. She's out looking for her dragon, telling her dragon to burn her alive. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Like what the hell? Like that had me like, holy crap.
Lady Lena ain't no joke, man.
No. It was this was good. It definitely showed probably Damon at his most sympathetic. this episode?
I think it just shows the difference between Damon and his brother. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just one of those things that you see. He's not, he's not starving to have an heir. He's not trying to do that. But
Mhm.
Viserys is like, I had needed an heir. The kingdom needs an heir. Cut my wife open, and he's never been the
Mhm.
same.
Yeah,
You know, that's
I
just
agree.
that was crazy, and seeing it was made me feel like Damon's gonna be so important later on in all these episodes. Um,
Absolutely.
are
Absolutely.
you surprised, like, about how they really treated Lenore, like, and how we all see he's black, and she's okay with having this a white child with black hair?
No, I'm not.
I was like, wow, and then Allison was just like, maybe one day you have one that looks like you.
Mhm.
I mean, that was cold
Yeah,
blooded.
that was nasty. I think I even like once you said that, I like audibly went, "Dang, that was cold."
I think I yelled, "Burn!"
Mhm.
uh, he said,
But
that dragon did not want to do it. He did not.
no,
Uh, he looked at her. He looked like he loved her. He like she's the one that he's with, and that was her dragon, and he did not want to do it, but he did it because he followed her lead, and I thought that was really interesting too.
yeah, you definitely saw the reluctance in him,
What do you think
which was
about
cool.
how Alicent is going to be now that Rhaenyra has left the castle?
Um, Harder, probably a lot more cynical, uh, potentially even colder. I'd say. I think those are the top three. I'd say. I
I
think that
She's going to
that'll
push.
probably
She's going to push
yeah
her thumb.
that'll yeah I think that's gonna come out like in spades in the next couple episodes.
Yeah,
Because what do we
Aegon
have
is
like
going to be.
four more to go?
Yep, but Aegon's going to be pushed to be here. He doesn't even want it. He doesn't even want it, and she's going to push it. And basically she was like, if you don't want it, you're going to die. Rhaenyra is going to kill you because she's not going to have any anyone coming up and giving options to not be on the throne. So she's going to kill everybody else. So it's like either you do it or die.
Yep.
That was kind of messed up. Said Damon doesn't exactly have the same pressure to have an heir. Sure, he has pressure. We probably didn't have advisors remind him that all the time.
Mm,
That's very true.
true.
But also it looks like he loves his wife more, even though you know you can see how the marriage was kind of starting to dissolve because she was tired of being on the road, and she's like, I want to
Yeah.
go home, and that was just interesting.
Oh yeah. This was very much on the rocks relationship for sure.
How
Um,
cold do you feel like that was? Like how cold the get so sending away the head of the guard, whatever, send him away with her father was his father, and then locking them up and burning them alive. That was just vicious.
yeah, that was like so many moments on this show, man. Like just had me going like, holy crap! Like damn, like that is scandalous. That is cold. Um, definitely. Like this, I think that's one of my favorite things about it overall. Just how many like holy shit moments there are. You
Uh,
know.
what's his name? I can't remember the son that is now Allison's advisor, the one that told her before about Rhaenyra getting the tea. What's his name
Mhm.
again? I always keep on forgetting what his name is.
The one with the
The one who burned
not,
everyone alive.
yeah. Um, I'm trying to remember.
Is it Stefan?
I think you might be right.
Is Sir Stefan? I feel like that's what it was. But is that? I'm not sure, but if someone knows, please either throw it up there, throw it out there. No, it's Laris. It's Laris. Laris. It's Laris.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it is Larry's. Okay,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I totally blanked out on that
yeah.
one.
Laris Strong. So he is the real villain of this entire episode, isn't he? He's the one who like sets everything up. He's the one that set the wedge between Allison and Rhaenyra. He's the one who killed Rhaenyra's baby's father, baby daddy, and buried him
Mhm.
alive, and killed the hand. And killed the hand. Wow. To get Otto
Yeah,
back there too.
yeah, he's a sneaky little
Wow.
prick, especially on this one.
Yeah, this is crazy. Uh, so where do you think we go in the next episodes?
Um, that's what I always ask myself at the end of each episode, and every time I speculate something, I end up wrong, and I kind of like that I end up wrong because it's the unpredictability. I am not sure. I'm not sure what this is going to mean for Damon. I'm not sure, where we're going to go with like Larry's, what he's going to do next.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if I can answer that right now. you know, how
And
about you though?
was it Larry's father? Wasn't that his father and brother? Yes, he killed his own father and brother. That was so messed up. Um, I think Rhaenyra is going somewhere. I think Damon is going to come back into the picture, and I think, as I've always said, Rhaenyra and Damon are going to. Damon's no longer be looking for the throne, but I think he's going to help Rhaenyra with the throne because they are the same people. They are single-minded. If that's whatever they want, that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to end up joining together. I think Allison's going to be back with her father, so they're going to be joined together, and there's going to be a true, just two parts of a civil war, and it's going to be the most powerful families fighting off. Because remember, Corlys has his family that's going to be on Rhaenyra's side because now you got Damon, you got Laenor, you got all of them on that side, right? And then you're going to have Alicent with the House of Hightower on the other side. And I think that's what's going to really be splitting up. And the rest of the kingdom that wants a male heir on the throne. And I think we're going to finally see lines being designed and being drawn in the sand. And we're going to see. We thought we saw bloodshed before. We're going to see some real bloodshed soon.
And that said, do you think that'll kick off on the next episode and then span the rest of this season?
Exactly. I think it'll kick off in the end of the next episode, episode 7, and then the last 3 episodes will be about what the hell's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's episode 7 or 8. Sirius is going to have to die.
That I can see for sure.
Yeah, I think he has to be it. But we're getting that foundation being set. Is it? I think the next episode starts the foundation of a civil war: Targaryen versus Hightower. This is it.
Yeah, I could go with that.
I think this is where we're going to end up getting. This is happening, and you can see it, and it's been coming up all the time. And the fact that now Rhaenyra doesn't have like a lover, quote unquote, though she has a husband, she doesn't have a lover. She's going to be focused on one thing and one thing only. Because did you notice how embarrassed she was that she was like lactating during the meeting?
Yeah, I remember that.
She's going to be focused on being one thing, and that's queen.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be very interesting. I think we're going to have a lot of bloodshed, and I wouldn't be surprised if by the episode 10, Alicent is killed by Rhaenyra.
Huh.
Those best friends that start off with best friends, there could have been more. I don't know. There's been a lot of that going on in this entire episode, all these episodes, but I think one's going to have to kill the other.
I could, yeah. Now that sinks in, yeah, I could see it culminating in that.
Oh
Yeah,
boy, this is gonna be great. So Jimmy says no. So I think Allison lives, but her oldest child is killed. I can see her oldest child running away because he really doesn't want it.
I could see either or. I'm kind of leaning toward her oldest child getting killed. I think that would fit more in the tone of the show.
If the oldest child's killed, I'm going to say it's the second child that does it.
Yeah.
It's going to be the second child that does it, and that's how we're going to end the Civil War. But this is going to be interesting. I think this has been an interesting like series, and I'm every week I'm interested to see where they go. Though this felt like a pilot episode again, or like that first episode again, it kind of drew me back in, and I'm happy to or excited to see where we go from here.
Definitely, yeah, and once again, yeah, I definitely agree. It definitely felt like a beginning.
Yeah, with new
You know,
characters all over again. Do you think we get more flashbacks?
at this point, I don't really think we might not need any at this point. We might not need any more at this point.
So
I'm
you think
thinking.
it's the last time we saw the teenage Allison and teenage Rhaenyra?
I feel like it. I feel like the next final 4 episodes are going to be just advancing the plot, moving forward.
I thought
And
I
I think
watched
that
IMDb and that they were in 9 episodes. So I feel like there has to be a flashback somewhere.
you think so. I think there could be. They might not necessarily need it at this point.
Ooh, look at this one. This is pretty good, Jimmy. I take it back. I think Rhaenyra has Alicent's father die by dragon fire. You burn my baby daddy, I burn your daddy. That's cold. That's cold. I, before we go, I do want to say this one thing. It was very tough to watch the child, Rhaenyra's oldest son, ask, "Was that guy my dad?" And her just
Yeah,
have to say, "No, you are a Targaryen." Like that was tough to watch, and I did not enjoy seeing that.
yeah, that was probably one of the rougher scenes of the show as a whole.
Yeah,
But yeah, especially the acting on the kid's part.
yeah.
He
That
really really sold that.
and even the teasing, all that stuff that made sense, and you know, I can't believe how we saw Allison's son. How first seen Aegon, he's sitting there looking like Homelander at the end of season 2 of The Boys. I was like, is he really doing that outside the window? Is this really happening?
I did a double take on that. I'm like, dude, for real?
I was like, uh, you don't have any, you don't have a concubine.
Yeah,
You don't sleep with your bathers. I know
yeah.
I
You're
do.
just you're just doing that shit out in the open.
Uh, and to remove an obstacle, Allison poisons the king to officially go full force against Rhaenyra. Woo! You don't even got poison the king. He's about to die now. He's like on his last breath. I'm telling you, he
At
looks
the
like the
end of
crypt
his rope.
keeper. He literally looks like the crypt keeper.
Yeah.
Every day, like all you gotta do is just not give him enough water, and he's gonna die. It's just
Mhm.
that's it.
He's pretty much a walking corpse. Yeah.
Exactly what he is right now. But you know what's interesting is that he's on there for 9 or 10 episodes too. So
Mhm.
it's possible that he doesn't die to the end.
Yeah, I don't see him lasting the whole season.
Um, I can't wait to see what happens. I'm so interested in seeing where we go from here. I'm hoping I'm hoping to see the Civil War get set up before we just get into fighting. So that's
Yeah.
my hope. This is where I'm trying to go with, but we'll see.
I feel like there's got to be some payoff in that regard before the season ends.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah,
You
because it's
got
probably.
anything else for this thing? Anything else you think
I'd
might
say
happen?
I'd say that kind of wraps it up in terms of my thoughts for this
Okay.
season. Like I said, I'm cautiously predicting things because I'm always wrong. The next episode.
Who cares? Like being wrong, you just like whatever. Writers are better than me. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I think that's about where I'm at with this new episode.
Awesome, awesome. All right, I guess we'll transition to the next topic. All right, I'm not going to start anything yet because we're going to look at some stuff. Is there? Ain't nobody trying to assassinate Jimmy Carter and the Barbers. Andy, you're something else. Here's a good question. I should have brought this one up. Do Damon and Rhaenyra end up together? What do you think?
I'm not sure. I don't know about that one. No, I don't. That's going to be a no for me.
I think they're definitely we're gonna
Really?
definitely end up together. Yeah, because Lenore is going to die in battle,
Mhm.
and it's just going to be them two left, and they're going to end up together. And all their kids is going to look like a family. It's going to look like Full House or Step by Step. It's going to have just random kids everywhere. The Brady Bunch. Yeah, that's going to be something like that. Like even the father that you thought was your father is not your father because you got the milkman was your father, and it's gonna be craziness all over the place. And I think they end up together anyway. Either they end up together or they marry their kids off to each other. You know, like because Damon has all girls and
Mhm.
she has all boys, and she marries them off to Damon's daughters.
Huh.
It's gonna be interesting. We'll see. We're gonna let time
Yeah.
kill Jimmy Carter. You're right. That's what we're gonna let time do. Uh, see, we're gonna talk about the fact that someone thought it was a good idea to have the Giants and Cowboys on Monday Night Football. We don't know. You know what the NFL least is. You can't deal with that. You don't know. And to get back to your question, I saw you. How we only won by 3? We lucky we won. All right, they're to the Texans. We're lucky we won because Justin Fields played terribly. All right, we saw Andy's here. But yes, I will do want to do a quick review on. I want to do a quick review on Hocus Pocus before the Hocus Pocus 2 comes out. So maybe we'll do that on Friday. We'll be able to do that.
Yeah, I'm done with that. Yeah.
James says, just wait until one of the raised kids walk up to the black guy and say, "You ain't my daddy. I ain't gotta listen to you." Oh, wow, this is bad.
I like that.
All right,
um,
give me a second. I'm gonna bring back up these trailers. They will do that because I'm not going to
okay.
do the Woman King without Tank being on. He watched it too.
And
So
I still need to watch it. I got to catch up on that.
it is really good. Like I'll sit there watching it, like, wow, this is crazy.
Mhm.
Give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna pull him back up, and then we'll. Uh, all right. I know, Derpy. That's what we're about to do. All right. Let me get this all set up, and we're gonna watch this. All right, I'm gonna do the transition, and we'll go over and do it again. Ready?
Cool. Let's go. Mm-hmm.
And welcome back to the Spoiler Kings. We are going to do a trailer review. It just dropped. We gotta watch this new Last of Us trailer. You ready?
Yep.
I don't know if you are, but we're gonna do it anyway. Here we go. Make sure you can hear it. Oh no, we gotta go back to that. That was
Run that back.
whoa. I want to bring it down, but what did you think about that? What did
Sold.
we just watch?
Sold. That's what I think. I am sold.
That
I
was intense.
video game adaptations are so risky, and most of them, for lack of a better term, I'm just going to say it, most of them suck. Um, but the talent involved, I forgot Craig, is it Mazin or Mazin, however you pronounce his
Amazing.
last name, but
Mhm.
the creator of Chernobyl, which was amazing,
I'm gonna bring this
is
up one more time, guys. Keep on talking while we play this because I just
and
want to do it one more
Pedro
time.
Pascal, great in everything he's in, Mandalorian, everything that he.
Right there. What
Yeah.
the hell? Oh, I keep on missing it.
Oh,
Woo! Whoa! Really?
holy crap!
I wasn't ready.
Definitely not ready.
Oh man, that's going to be something else. Wow. Whew. All right. So,
Yep,
what are your initial thoughts of that?
excited, absolutely sold on that. I am so in. Like I was saying, I'm so iffy whenever I hear a video game is being adapted, because very seldom can anyone seem to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
But that looks that looks amazing.
It
I
does.
think that looks
Do you think
incredible.
they
And like I
follow?
said,
Do they follow the game's plot?
uh, I think they. I hope so. Um, it followed it enough for me. I think there are going to be like the inevitable changes, but um, yeah, it looks really good and faithful to the game, I'd say.
I think it's going to. Yeah, exactly what Jimmy just said.
Yeah.
I guarantee this show will break major records. It looks so amazing. I think that's exactly what I was going to say. And yes, I definitely played this game, and this is intense. Derby
Yeah.
says, as someone who's played one of the greatest games of all time, it looks very faithful and looks like it could break the video game adaptation curse.
Mhm.
We hope. You only can hope. I mean, the problem with video games, that it's hard to make things look like the video game. And if you try to do it, a lot of times you fail.
Mhm.
I'm hoping that they can continue to give us what we need for the video game and give us the same storyline and have these amazing monsters come in there and give that feeling while you're watching it. And if they can, this can be one of those great ones. This could be one of the great ones.
Oh man, I hope so. And it's about time that video game, because video games, we're at a point, man, where video games are almost more cinematic than movies.
I agree.
So there's really no reason that we can't get great video game movies. So I'm hoping, just like uh exactly what Derpy said. Hopefully this breaks the video game adaptation curse.
Yeah, we
And then
haven't
we
had a good video game. I don't know how long. Like, I mean, have you ever really got a movie that's really good, as good as the game?
No, I'd say at the best we've gotten like passable or entertaining. Like, um, I think the best ones for me right now are the Sonic movies. You
Really?
know,
Better
yeah,
than Resident Evil, better than Tomb Raider, better than where are other ones we could say?
Mortal
Mortal
Kombat
Kombat.
Annihilation.
Well, the first Mortal Kombat was good. I don't care what anyone says.
The first Mortal Kombat was pretty good. The second one was awful. Last year's was okay. I have one big problem with Mortal Kombat 2021, and his name was Cole Young. Um, uh, but I did like the Sonic movies, and this CG animated Mario movie. I'm hoping is solid. I know the trailer comes out for that
Yes,
in a couple weeks.
I
Or I
think
think at the
Mario's
end of
just
next.
too hard.
What's that?
I think Mario's just too hard to do because you have 40 years of information trying to put in there, and I don't know.
I am rooting for Chris Pratt though, because I think because everyone's kind of crapping on him as the voice of Mario. I think Chris Pratt is the man, so I'm down with it. Curious to see
All
what he
right,
sounds like.
let's see. Yes, it does, but they added stuff for world building in 10 episodes, 1 hour. Pretty sure they are adding prelude before the beginning of the game, and they changed the breakout timeline from its original, just yeah, to modern day. Yeah, yeah. So the animated Mortal Kombat is pretty good. I agree.
I
I like
agree. The two
I
newer
like most of
ones,
it. Yeah.
yeah,
There
almost
you
forgot
go.
about those ones.
I wish they would do a God of War movie. I think that's one of those things that they will do and they'll totally mess up. So I
Yes,
don't want them to do
I
it.
would be really really iffy on God of War. They would have to pour a lot of money into it.
Tank would literally lose his damn mind.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said. No, like
but
they changed it from 2013 to 2003 to fit the 20 year later timeline. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm fine with that. That won't hurt anything. I'm good with that. I'm just waiting for an exact date in 2023 because they've been really beating around the bush with the exact release date on this.
Well, I'm just
But
hoping that we get a good show and we'll be able to enjoy the way they do it. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that's better than Halo and all the other stuff, and that we're going to really enjoy what we got.
God, don't even get me started on that new Halo.
And on that note, next topic.
Yep.
All right, we're the Spoiler Kings here. We're going to watch another trailer. This one's Interview with the Vampire, uh, the AMC one. So let's check out this trailer and tell me what you think, guys.
Let's go.
I offer, for your journalistic pleasures, my life story.
So, how long have you been dead?
The year was 1910. My business was desire.
Let me introduce you to Mr. Lestat de Leoncourt.
I know who you are, sir. We're destined to be very good friends.
I'm assuming you only met at night. It's New Orleans. Days are for sleeping off the previous evening's damage. That's your thing, then? You like to watch?
I've been watching you for some time now. I can swap this life of shame. Swap it out for a dark gift.
Let the tale seduce you. Just as I was seduced.
There was a boy.
He was my murderer, my mentor, my lover, and my maker.
A very strange enchanted boy.
It was as if I could finally receive the secrets of existence.
Your eyes, like a search window.
I was not yet ready to hunt, but desperate to feed.
It's best to let the food come to you.
You're not welcome in this home.
This is how it has to be.
I don't want to kill people.
You're a vampire. I could not save myself.
Oh wow.
I could save her. She'll be what? A daughter.
Oh, that must be Claudia.
Family?
Yep.
She is poisoning you against me.
You two have each other. Who am I supposed to love?
This is not a life! You took my life!
We'll be together 10,000 nights, 100,000.
Ready to begin the adventure of our lives. My companions in immortality.
Oh, that's coming sooner than I thought.
Sunday.
Well, that takes care of my plans for Sunday. I have you ever read any of the Anne Rice novels, the Vampire Chronicles books?
No, I have not. That's why I was like, whoa.
So I've read a couple of them. They were some of like the earlier really long books that I would really read in my teenage years. I really liked the Interview with the Vampire movie. I thought it was a great movie. Queen of the Damned, not so much. It had a pretty good soundtrack.
I don't know. I'm partial to Aaliyah, so it's okay.
Yeah. I think the content by Anne Rice lends itself to a series a lot more, and I think AMC is a good channel for that.
Mm-hmm. What has AMC ever done that was good? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Walking Dead.
Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul.
They know a lot of good things.
So, and it's nice to hear the character of Lestat with with an actual French accent this time, because Tom Cruise was doing some kind of accent. I'm not quite sure what it was. As great a job as he did. Stuart Townsend. I'm not sure what he was going for, but whatever accent he was doing was not French. Even though I liked certain aspects of him as Lestat, that's not to take a pot shot at him. But I like the look of it. It looks really, really cool. I think a series is a really good way to go.
I think when you're redoing things, like redoing a movie and you're doing it as a TV show, you have the time and you have the budget to really put the time in and the money in, and it's going to look that much better. So
yeah, visually, in terms of like the costuming and the cinematography going by the trailer, it looks amazing.
Yes, exactly.
Like I think, like I said, I'm probably this is the best way to go for this. And if they're gonna do more Anne Rice stuff, I would love to see like an adaptation of Vampire Lestat, which is like his whole backstory, which unfortunately they tried to cram into the Queen of the Damned movie. One of the things that they went wrong with the Queen of the Damned movie is they tried to combine the book The Vampire Lestat and the book of Queen of the Damned and utterly failed in doing both.
So now we know nothing.
Yeah. So I want a redo of that. So if they're doing,
someone's going to be strong enough to do that, because I mean, trying to jump into that, it was so bad, and Leo was the last one doing it. It's going to take someone strong that's willing to try that out.
Yeah.
So Tank says,
I
my mom's a hardcore Anne
was
Rice fan. This one looks pretty good. I'll be checking it out. But the certain people are already complaining about it. Guess why?
Huh. I wonder. Oh, the character of Louis can't be black.
It doesn't make sense. Wait a minute. Does it? In New Orleans?
In New Orleans?
Maybe the first adaptation didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's just whatever.
I'm fine with that.
It makes more sense. It makes more sense.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. And I like that actor. His name's escaping me right now, but I've seen him in a couple other things. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I think I like that they're kind of going with lesser known actors this time, and
That's if you
it'll
have a strong story, I feel like that's what you should do. When you have a strong story, you should go with lesser known actors and let the story be the actual other character. Like you can
yeah,
understand the story a lot more when you're not looking at like it's hard seeing the Rock, seeing Black Adam when you see the Rock. It's hard for Will Smith to be in anything because you see Will Smith
because
when
you see
they're
Will Smith.
Denzel is Denzel. That's just what you see. When you get
Yeah,
a lesser known actor, you can see the story and see the character for what it is a lot easier.
exactly. So I'm good with it, and I think it completely escaped me that this is coming out on Sunday. So
That's what I'm
that
here for.
yep. So that'll be my Sunday night plans for sure. um, but yeah, I'm excited, and the fact that that's coming on Sunday, yes.
All right, you got anything else to go for this?
Um, I think I think it was enough to get me pumped. I can't wait, and I hope this is awesome. I'm pulling for it, and if it is awesome, Anne Rice has written more than enough content for them to do a more kind of standalone Vampire Chronicles series. So I'm hoping for that.
And if it does well, AMC, I'm sure they'll pay for all of it to be done, like as a
Yeah.
series, and to get the entire story out.
Yes, give me an entire season of the Vampire Lestat properly,
Give me
and then
10
do
episodes. Give me 8 to 10 episodes. That's okay.
8 to 10 episodes, yeah, and have it set in the 80s, like the book was, where Lestat reawoke in the 80s and became a rock star, became like a glam rock star.
Set in the 2000s.
We could redo 2000s, have Lestat's singing voice be Jonathan Davis of Korn, like the Queen of the Damned movie was.
Exactly.
I'd be fine with it. Just do it right.
Well, but 80s is hot. I mean, with all the things Stranger Things. I mean, there's a lot of things that have been coming out based in the 80s. It's a big thing. It's a seller. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
That's exactly why I'd be cool with it. Because, like I said, the Queen of the Damned movie, I love the soundtrack. Like the soundtrack was like the best thing. I still have a lot of that on my morning workout playlists and stuff like that. A lot of the bangers on there. But at the same time, I would be cool with it being set in the 80s, like the book was, and him just being like a glam metal, like a glam rock star. I think that would be cool to see.
All right, go run up that hill. All right.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
All right. Next thing. All right. Welcome back to Spoiler Kings. I have to get to what they're asking in the comments. I saw it. I was like, okay, I can't talk about this now, but let me get to it right now.
I think I know what you're going to go for.
Derby just wanted to know he heard February, either late January or early February, for it's coming out for The Last of Us.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. He said, we'll most likely get another trailer at the Game Awards. I don't know, because this has already been 2, so I don't know if we get that. And then Andy asked this question: what is the worst video game film? That's a loaded question.
I knew that's what you were going to zero in on.
What is your answer?
And I respect that. The worst video game movie, I would say, and you're having me pick just one. That's
one.
That's the tough. Damn it. Street Fighter.
Really?
Street Fighter, Legend of Chun-Li.
All right. I'm going to say something. I don't know if people like this, but I'm going to go with Hitman.
Mm-hmm.
I love the game. Was it Agent 47? Agent 47. I hated the casting. It was so bad. It was just not good at all. I mean, I hated Hitman. So that's me. But
because that was the reboot that they did like a couple years later, right?
Yeah. Because the first one was bad too. It's just nothing you can do about it.
It's so tough because I almost said Max Payne because I took that very personally.
Yeah,
Because Max Payne is like one of my all-time favorite video games. And the frustrating thing about the Max Payne movie is they had the story there. All they had to do was like pull a Sin City and just translate it to screen. That's all they had
that's
to
the
do.
problem. You can't do a movie that's already been a movie.
Yeah.
I guess Derpy saying Super Mario Brothers 100%. So that is a terrible movie, but it's so terrible. I love it. I love Super Mario Brothers. As takes it. Mario Brothers, it's so bad. It is classic. It's a classic. I agree.
You know,
I love it so much. It's just my
have you read any of the like movie trivia about the Mario Brothers movie, like how miserable and grueling an experience was with the directors and stuff like that? And
no. Tell me about it.
apparently, like in between takes, John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins were doing like shots of scotch and just doing the scenes drunk just to ease the pain.
I mean, can you believe it? I mean, the one with the dancing Goombas it was so bad.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah.
Said, he said, "Good pick, Brandon. You shocked me that you threw in Chun-Li."
Yeah. At least the Van Damme version was like fun in like a hokey kind of guilty pleasure type way.
Yeah,
The Chun-Li
exactly.
one,
Was
the
so
Chun-Li
bad.
one actually took itself seriously. I felt bad for Michael Clark Duncan because that was just so beneath him.
Listen, hey, you know what? You just go ahead and leave, man. Just leave. Don't worry about this.
Yeah.
We'll finish it up for you. You can leave. He said,
Yeah.
Tank's going really old school. Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
That was trash. You're right. Double Dragon is really bad.
Yeah, and I think the best Double Dragon movie was Double Impact with Van Damme. That was a Double Dragon movie without being a Double Dragon movie.
Without the names. So,
Yeah.
Blood Rain. Blood Rain was really bad.
Oh yeah, of course it was bad. Uwe Boll directed that. He puts out nothing but trash. I think he was making it his personal mission to desecrate every video game in by adapting it into a movie. Because he did that. He did House of the Dead. He made a frigging Far Cry movie. He did Dungeon Siege of all things.
I can't believe he brought Far Cry. Far Cry was better as a video game, as a movie. You just take the video game, cut it up, and make it a movie. That should have been what it was.
Yeah.
Like I go, Andy
Right,
saying, dude, Alyssa Milano was hot in that when I was a preteen, not Double Dragon. You can't throw Double Dragon out there.
So here's one for you. You know what the best video game movie is?
What?
Crank. Crank is essentially GTA. It's the best GTA adaptation that we will probably ever get.
No.
In terms of Crank is GTA the movie.
The best video game movie is Mortal Kombat, whatever.
Mortal
I'm
Kombat.
gonna say Alyssa Milano. I loved Alyssa Milano growing up. I watched Charmed before Alyssa Milano. I watched a movie where Alyssa Milano was in. So I'm 100% with you, Andy. 100%.
I think the ones that really got me, the one that really got me into Alyssa Milano was Fear with Mark Wahlberg.
I was already there before Fear.
Yeah.
I was already. Who's the boss? I was ready. I was like, all right, let's go. This is it.
Oh man, she was in Who's the Boss? Sure was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason I watched it. Tay said, we finally got the Mario Brothers full names. Something no one ever asked for.
Well, oh, what? You didn't like Mario, and Luigi Mario?
Oh man,
that's good.
that's funny. That's a lot. That's so funny. Man, anything else that was really bad or good? What's What's a racing one that was really bad?
Need for Speed?
Oh yeah, Need for Speed. That was a terrible one.
which sucks because it had a pretty decent cast. I think as
What?
far as video game movies go, it probably had like the best cast of a lot of these video game movies. Um,
What
you know,
about
Aaron,
Rampage?
Rampage was fun in a guilty pleasure type way. Um, you just had The Rock being The Rock, stuff getting smashed up. Naomi Harris giving an uncharacteristically bad acting performance.
I was just about to say exactly what Tate just said. Doom, first of all, one of the greatest video games ever, was trash. Thanks.
And how do you mess up Doom? You know, they got a couple brownie points with that one with like the first person shooter scene, which was cool.
Yep.
But even that was too late, and it wasn't nearly enough to save the movie. You know,
this is when The Rock was learning how to act. He was just learning. So that's why I just kind of put it at that. Say yeah.
One thing that I always question with video game movies is why can't you just adapt what's already there? They always feel the need to make these changes. Like case in point, Doom, or what I said with Max Payne. The story was there. The story was there with Max Payne. They just had to translate it over. They pretty much made it Max Payne in name only, which really sucked. Yep. Because a Max Payne movie, by all accounts, could have been dope. I think that the best Max Payne movie, and I keep coming back to this point because they're, like I said, Crank is like the best GTA movie. Double Impact is the best Double Dragon movie. You know what the best Max Payne movie is?
What are you gonna say?
Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon.
I don't like that either.
Have you seen that one?
Yes, I didn't like it.
Like, come on, it's a Max Payne movie. You know, like he's avenging the death of his loved ones. It's very grim. It's very even a lot of the settings. He's going through the movie like popping painkillers and stuff like that, and just taking people. That Death Sentence is more of a Max Payne movie than the actual Max Payne movie.
I just didn't like it. I didn't like the movie. I was like, this is stupid. But that's just me. Whatever.
It's a very standard revenge flick, very grim. That was like James Wan when he was like really getting his feet off the ground because he had just done Saw like a couple years beforehand.
I got a question for you though.
What's that? How
did you feel about Assassin's Creed?
So there's something that can be worse than being bad to me, because like even a bad movie I might remember. Assassin's Creed unfortunately committed the sin of being forgettable, which sucks because once again it had a lot of talent behind it.
Yeah, so many great actors and actresses in it, and they had it, and then it was boring. Like for all the stuff that was going on, it was boring. I was like, all right, this is not the game that I love.
Yeah, I think that came out when I was like overseas, like in Korea. I think I saw it in the theater with some friends, and once I walked out, I forgot all about it.
So once I walked out of the movie theater, the movie was no longer in my mind.
Yeah, I felt like I was neuralized, and I think that's an even worse sin than being bad. When you're forgettable, that's even worse.
Tay says, hopefully the next Netflix series does better than the movie. And Andy said, I fell asleep watching Assassin's Creed twice. And
what did you think?
I don't think it was two different times. I think it was actually like watching it twice in the movie theater, falling asleep, because that's what it was. It was so boring.
What did you think of the Warcraft movie?
I didn't hate it. I don't care what you guys say. I
Me
don't care if
neither.
everyone else
Me
hated it.
neither.
I
That's
didn't.
exactly
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was going to say. I thought there were a lot of things in Warcraft that worked, and I definitely felt like it was one of the more faithful video game adaptations.
It was exactly the game. And that's why I felt I
Yeah.
was okay with that.
And it kept my attention. I remember seeing that in the theater when I was overseas in Korea too. I had a lot of fun watching it. I think so. I have to. I know I said like Sonic is one of the better video game movie adaptations. I'd rank Warcraft alongside that too. In terms of
I just love Mortal Kombat.
the 95 one.
Yeah. I said, no, it was 2 times. I still haven't finished it. He never went back to it. All right, so as far as Warcraft, Tank says, I didn't hate it, but it has some issues. I wouldn't mind a sequel.
Paula Patton was kind of doing it for me in that.
Well, I mean, because that's Paula Patton. That
Yeah. Well, she always does it for me, but like the green skin and the fangs, she kind of made it work.
Hey, good call, Andy. Battleship.
Is that a
You remember that movie with Rihanna and what was that? Liam Neeson was in that one.
Liam Neeson was in it?
Yeah.
Taylor Kitsch?
Yeah.
Alexander Skarsgård?
Yep.
Kind of coasting off the Transformers fame. I did find it tolerable than almost any of the Michael Bay Transformers movies. A little bit more. Because I think aside from the first Transformers and Bumblebee, all the other Transformers movies, I'll like noticeably, if I have to sit through them, I'll noticeably fidget, and I'll get a headache.
Well, Bumblebee is like the best part of all of the movies. That's just what it is.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Beast Wars movie next year, mostly because Michael Bay is not directing it. And it's gonna follow like the continuity set by Bumblebee, and it's Beast Wars, so I'm totally down.
I wonder if is House of the Dead the worst movie, period.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, House of the Dead was awful. That might be the worst one I could think of.
And that one hit pretty close to home because House of the Dead is one of my favorite first-person shooter games. I go to Emporium over here. You're gonna find me glued to the House of the Dead machine. There.
Is it? There's got to be a computer version of it, so I think it still counts.
I think you're right, Andy.
I
think Andy's right. I think there is a computer version of it. So I'll accept Battleship.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm trying to think which other ones there are. Like I said, last year's Mortal Kombat could have been cool, and there are parts of it that were cool.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
They just didn't need that Cole Young character. I freaking hate that character so much. He was just a useless nothing of a character. His superpower was literal plot armor, dude. I hope, like, I really, really hope that since the sequel's in development, if the first 5 minutes don't open with his neck getting snapped,
This is not Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is in the running for one of the worst movies adaptation to ever do.
Yeah,
I was like, really?
For help.
You killed Johnny Cage
Cole
right
doesn't
now?
Cole doesn't even deserve the courtesy of an on-screen death. You could just say he fell down some stairs or something.
He got pushed by this guy named Brandon Peoples.
Yeah.
Just have you in there.
Freaking hated that character so much. This is and they have him kill Goro, which was just a total insult. Freaking dipshit.
You look at that angry York. If you guys can't see, he is really angry.
I freaking hated Cole Young so much.
Oh man, that's fun.
Uh,
All right. On that note, I want to say, guys, thanks to everyone for joining us today. We've already gone an hour, 10 minutes, and it was just fun. I love this
Yeah.
conversation we even had about the video games, so that was really cool. So
yeah, this is a lot of fun.
I want to thank Andy and Tank doing double duty because he's supposed to be also was trying to get his son to sleep. Derpy, I always appreciate you, Derp. Jimmy
Thank you,
jumping in
Derp.
at the beginning, that was great. All you guys in the comments really helps drive the show, so I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for being there with us, and I think I'm going to let Iron Man take it out. Let's see if I get it
Sweet.
working. And Iron Man. This is my
Freaking
snack.
stupid Cole Young.
And we out.
out.